What is up, my party people? Circuitron back, and we are now on episode 2 of our Stranger Things 5 reaction, analysis, and mini review. This go round, we will be covering Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Just like last episode, what we'll be doing in this series is watching the episode, live reacting to things that go on in it. I'll give my impressions, my gut reaction, stuff like that throughout. And then at the very, very end of the episode, we will give an overview of the entire show episode, and I'll give you my honest thoughts and a review score. So with that being said, why don't we jump right into Stranger Things 5, Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. God, so I love the song that is playing. It's such a duality. You've got this insane Demogorgon attack that's happening in Holly's room, and then you have Karen in the bathroom listening to Fernando by ABBA, and just, oh, can you hear the drums, Fernando? Compared to just blah in the other room. I really, really enjoy the choice of music in this, and just how completely different the song is to the situation that's going on. Very, very good choice there by the production team. Oof. So, holy crap. This freaking taking, vanishing compared to Will's vanishing is just so much more intense. Like, not to give any hate or shade towards Will, but he was just kind of like taken that fast in the shed. This one, I mean, it comes busting through the freaking wall. It's like pulling her up by her leg, trying to pull her through the freaking ceiling. Like, this is insane. I feel so bad for Holly's character right now, especially after the conversation her and her brother just had last episode. Like, oh, there's no such thing as monsters. It's okay. Be Holly. They're heroic. She's looking at this. She's like, oh, no monsters. Okay. Oh my god. So that shot is just insane. This entire sequence is just insane. Starting with Holly running into the bathroom telling her mom, Mom, there's a monster. She's like, no, it's just a bad dream. It's just a nightmare. Leading through Ted turning around, seeing the lights just flashing, going crazy. Then jumping to Nancy and Eleven in the car, about 5 minutes away, and then right behind them a little ways is Mike and Lucas on the bikes, and then leading right back here into the bathroom where the demo just busts the door down, just starts demolishing everything trying to find them, and then the shot that pans down into the bathtub where they're just terrified holding each other underneath the water. Oh my god, the tension is just top notch in this. I really love that shot where it pans down through the bubbles down into the bathtub. I think that adds a ton to this scene, and I think that's super cinematic, super well done. And it really just shows how terrified, like how terrifying this situation is. There's no hiding. There is no freaking hiding from a Demogorgon. Like, it's going to find you, and it is going to take you and rip you apart. Oh, oh boy. Freaking Ted being the MVP here in this situation, actually protecting his wife, protecting his child. I know throughout the series, Ted is given like a bad rap and he's kind of called useless. He doesn't do much, but I do enjoy Ted as a character, just the little bits that we see from him. I mean, he does have like the knack for like, oh, sleeping through everything that's going on, disappearing through everything that's going on. But I really loved him in this sequence. I mean, he basically saved their bacon. He's the one that called out when the demo was looming over the bathtub and got it to get out of the bathroom. And then just whacking it in the head once with the golf club. If there was a big ass monster in front of me, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, I feel like I would be a lot more cowardly than Ted was in that moment. Granted, if I had a wife and a child I was defending and trying to save and all that, maybe it'd be a little bit different. But MVP on Ted in this situation. Freaking hits him in the head with a golf club and then just immediately gets tossed through the walls. Like, well, hey, at least you tried, Ted. Holy crap. Freaking get him, Karen. The first time I watched this episode, I was just cheering through this. Like, holy crap. She just goes at that thing with the wine bottle, stabbing him over and over. One of the other really cool things I noticed about this part, if you really, really pay close attention in the Demogorgon's mouth, you can see all of those glass pieces just sticking in there where she stabs him. I thought that was a really great addition by the special effects team. Like, the effects in this season are top notch. The monsters are amazing. The moments are amazing. So no, I really, really like this part. Freaking badass Mama Karen coming in and just stabbing the shit out of this thing. I mean, I of course knew what else that meant for her, but in the moment, I was just cheering for him. Like, you get that demo, you get him. So that part right there, from the moment Nancy enters the house and the camera pans to her and you see the just drained expression in her face, to the pan down to the floor and all the blood that you see. I am not gonna lie. So the first time I watched this episode, and spoilers again, everyone, if you haven't seen the rest of the episodes before watching this, make sure you see them because there's gonna be spoilers for all of Volume One. But from the moment I saw that, when it pans down, the look on her face, I'm like, oh no, Karen's gone. She's ripped apart. She's just out of here. Gladly, I mean, obviously that's not the case, but this entire sequence right there, I was freaking out. I'm like, no, here we go. But amazing, amazing performance by Natalia Dyer. There, just the solemn, drained look in her face. You're like, oh no, this is not good. Oh, oh, God. So just everything. This entire intro sequence, this entire like roughly 7-minute intro sequence, it's got to be one of my favorite intro sequences for any episode of Stranger Things ever. It has got to be one of the most insane intro sequences for an episode of Stranger Things ever. I just love how it's done, all the way leading up to this, where she's like, "Oh my God, the portal, go, freaking go!" Like from the jump on this episode, 11 is ready to go and just really mess some shit up. Freaking, we're in an awful position where Karen is bleeding out and dying on the floor, and Nancy feels helpless, doesn't know what to do. Holly has been taken. Like, this episode just goes from square one, and really, really, really got me excited just for the rest of this volume. If this is what's happening in episode 2, I knew that there was going to be just some insanity ahead of us. Whew. Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Oh, here we go. Oh, I feel so awful for Nancy in this part. So this is one of the moments in the trailer before this volume came out that I was analyzing over and over. I'm like, okay, what the hell happened here? Who died? Whose blood is that? What is going on? I'm glad that at this moment in time no one had died yet, but we just didn't know what exactly it was for. We didn't know if it was Jonathan, Steve, like nothing. We didn't realize it would be both of her parents being wheeled into the hospital and her sister missing. So, again, amazing performance by Natalia. You can just feel what Nancy is feeling in this moment. So, while I don't completely agree that it's all their fault, I do agree to a point on this part. Like, at this point, they were only really protecting themselves. Hawkins' lab is gone. They could have, like, yeah, they may have sounded insane, but they could have sat the parents down and explained everything that happened. Like, hey, so take this for what you will, but there's another world underneath Hawkins, and that's why we've been acting so weird for the past 4 years, because of all this crazy shit that's happening. I mean, the parents may have just, like, brushed it off, nothing happened, but I do feel what Nancy is feeling in this moment. Like, it's not their fault. Like, not their fault at all. They couldn't have known this would happen, kind of like Mike said. But after 4 years of just all this shit, like, someone should have been tipped off or something like, hey, this is why we were acting so weird. Be prepared. We might need to, like, do something. But then again, also, they're stuck in Hawkins. There's not going anywhere. It's not like they could have just up and left after the quarantine started. So there's conflicting emotions. Like, that she can't be blaming herself, but they could have maybe done a little bit more to be prepared, you know? So again, with the line that Nancy says too, about Vecna showing her that this would happen. Hawkins torn open, her mom, dad, Holly all dead. Like, again, she can't blame herself. But yeah, something more maybe could have been done to warn them. But at the same time, what were they gonna do to protect themselves from a Demogorgon just showing up and taking Holly? Like, they couldn't have known it would happen in this way. So Lucas brings up an amazing point here, and I really do want to know, like, how time plays into this. So with last episode, you see Holly reading A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time has just been a major fixation during this season. Will was taken on November 6th. It's November 3rd. So it's literally cyclical. It's the same time, just a few years later. 3 years, 4 years later. So let's see, it's 87. Yeah, so 4 years later. So he makes a really good point, and I really hope we get a lot more in terms of answers and why it's specifically around this time that this stuff happens. Because remembering back to season 2, Will starts going crazy and gets possessed by the Mind Flayer, also about a year after he first gets taken. So what is it about this time specifically in terms of the timeline and in terms of how the Upside Down interacts with the real world that causes all this to happen? Why beginning of November? I really hope we get a full answer for that. I'm sure we will, because this is not a throwaway line. This is not a throwaway moment that he just mentions that, oh, hey, it's the anniversary again. So I'm really excited to see exactly what that means for the show and for everything wrapping up in general. So the more and more this time goes along, and with his acting, his portrayal, and just the military in general, I'm really starting to question things. Like, there's no way they think that 11 is what's causing all of this. Especially the line that just happened where he asked, the daughter said she showed up alone. Did the daughter show up alone? Well, that's what she said. Okay, if 11 did this, why in the hell would she be showing up with Karen's daughter and Holly's sister? So really starting to think like they know a lot more than they are leading on, unless this guy is just assured that it is 11 causing this. I don't think so. I think they want her for a different reason. I don't think they're trying to catch her to kill her or shut her down. Like, they want to harvest her powers or something. Like, there's no way they think that this is 11 doing all of this. So I just love how confused and disoriented Hopper is in this moment. He's like, how are you here, Elle? What the hell? It's not safe. I love his concern for her. I know he loves her so much, but just the disorientation and how fast this episode is moving, I just love. Like, this episode is so good. This is the beginning of everything. And I really, really like the moment where he shows that concern for 11. He's like, "You can't be here. Why are you here?" So I really, really look forward to the more and more we get with them the rest of this season, because every moment with 11 and Hopper is golden, all the way back to season 2, which is some of my favorite 11 and Hopper moments. So, this whole talk between Joyce and Will, too. First of all, I love it because it's almost exactly like the talks they had in season 2. Almost exactly like the talks they had in season 2. So this season is pulling so much from season 2. And then the line right there where he says, "It's like I was the Demogorgon." I feel like that's going to be very, very crucial going forward, especially for volume 2. Again, maybe upcoming spoilers, but I feel like, again, things are going to get way worse for Will before they get better. I don't know if like they're going to try to like turn him against his friends and family, but the fact that he is so close to the hive mind now and is literally in the Demogorgon's mind and in Vecna's mind, I feel like that's not a good thing at all. Will's strong, Will's amazing, but all these forces are a little bit stronger. So I don't know what we've got in store, but I feel like it's really not good. So, like last episode, my whole thoughts on this love triangle, it is a little tired. I'm just tired of that dynamic. Like, either be Jonathan or Steve. Like, come on. That being said, this conversation, as much as they maybe want us to think that there's a love triangle going on and all that, I don't know if there actually is. I mean, I know Steve might still have feelings for her, but short of Jonathan dying or Nancy and him breaking up and Nancy choosing, I don't know if Steve necessarily is vying to get her back. Like, yes, he would love to have her back, obviously, after the conversation in season 4. But I think he does truly, truly, truly care about Nancy and literally just wants to see her happy, whether that means she's with him or not. I might be way off base. He might be trying to swoop in and steal Nancy, but Steve's been a pretty genuine character and a pretty genuinely all around great guy for the past 3 seasons now, excluding season 1 and a little bit of season 2. Like, I feel like they're not going to completely go back on that, and I feel like he is being genuine and is just very concerned for his friend who's suffering right now in life and in her relationship. Oof. And then poor Dustin walking up looking just beaten, battered, and bruised. I'm glad he's obviously walking and able to still move after the savage beating he just got last episode. But right there, regardless of how Steve and Dustin have been at each other's throats that last episode, right there in his expression and his reaction, you can tell like, oh no, what the hell? Like, that's not good. Like, that's where he's been. Whoops. I love this little moment. So obviously it shows Hopper's immense care for 11. He's like, "Really? You drove. They're going to see you and they're going to come after you with everything they've got." But then 11 snaps back. She's like, No. This could end this. We are trying to find Vecna. This could be the key to finding Vecna. Enough. Not emotion, instinct." I love that because that directly parallels season 2 when she leaves the house after Hopper's speech about like not being dumb, not stupid. It just reminds me like spot on of when she goes over that tripwire in season 2 and she says not stupid. I love the amount of callbacks we are getting to season 2. If you guys have not watched season 2, please go back and watch. Oh, I mean, obviously you've seen season 2, but if you haven't seen it recently, go back and watch it. They said it is going to be way more important than you think it's going to be for this final season. Everything is going to connect. So that is just so heavy. That is just so sad, so depressing. Lucas just continues to be Max's biggest cheerleader. He is not giving up on her. And this right here is, I think, that's intentionally placed by the Duffer Brothers. This shows how connection and love and care is all everyone needs. This entire time, this entire show has all been about how intention and love and caring for those around you can win the day. You see her ECG go up after he grabs her hand and he's like, please, Max, please. So, oh, Lucas. Poor freaking Lucas. And again, just a short little clip, but it means so much. Flashing to A Wrinkle in Time. It's going to mean so much for the rest of the season. They just keep hammering that point home. A wrinkle in time. They're going to be dealing with wormholes. They are going to be dealing with time in a big way in Volume 2. Mark my words now. So, I feel so bad for Dustin through all of this that, like, Steve right now is giving him a guilt trip. Again, it is kind of his fault that he got the snot beaten out of him because he just kept poking the bear. But Dustin's also going through a lot. Like, yeah, it's not right fresh in the memory, but he lost his best friend. He died in his arms. Lost everything. So I know a lot of this attitude that's coming from Steve is jealousy. He wished that, I think in a way, that he was Eddie, because they've lost that connection, that super insane connection that they had in season 3 and even a little bit in season 2. Like, they're not as close as they used to be. Add that on top of the whole Nancy situation and, like, the confrontation that him and Jonathan just had, where he's telling Jonathan, like, she is miserable in this relationship. Shape up, dude. I get why Steve's being the way he is. I was really critical the first few times I watched through this, but the more I watch it, I understand why all the characters are where they're at, and I applaud the Duffers, I applaud the writers for this. There is so much character growth and so much change in the characters throughout this series. It feels like real people. People go through this stuff. You've got your great days, you've got your bad days, you've got your bad months. I really, really, really appreciate that we're seeing this essentially the dark night of the soul for Dustin and for Steve right now. And I really enjoy seeing as they start to kind of grow closer together, they pull apart. I just think it's really great characterization. Even if, as the viewer, it's driving us just mad because we want them to be close. We want them to be connected again. We want everyone to be happy. But that's not life. So I love, just adore that this is what we're going through in the story. We're seeing all of these characters and their minds change and their relationships being shaped by just all of the terrible shit that has been happening to them. I love it. I love Robin so freaking much. So another, obviously, Back to the Future reference. Great Scott! But really, so this scene that's upcoming and just every scene with Robin and Will in general, I love how intuitive Robin is. She reads people, she understands when people are going through things, and she genuinely cares. So, like in this scene, she looks over at Will, that's just sitting there all dejected, feeling all left out, like he's useless, like he can't do anything. And she comes up with an excuse here that the flux capacitor is out. They need to go fix it. It's a two-man job. And she gets Will involved. She gets him included. They formulate a plan of their own, and they take action, even against the wishes of Joyce. I love that Robin cares so much. She's an amazing character, and she literally brings everyone together. She cares about people's feelings. She wants everyone to feel included and not left out. And I love that this is really, really the beginning of Will's character arc in earnest. Like, she's making him feel valued, she's making him feel important, and it just is go from here. Their relationship, their friendship is just beautiful to me. Dun dun dun. So that I love how fast the military plot lines escalating too. She's showing the images. She's like, okay, don't come to me unless you have something. Seriously, I'm done wasting time. We've seen her before. You are wasting my time. And then when he tells her that she's there because of the portal in the Wheeler house and they realize that 11 is in the upside down, oh, the look on Kay's face. She's just like, holy shit, we're that close? We're really that close? What do you mean here? So I just really, really like how this military plotline has escalated. Again, instead of feeling like this force that's just kind of chasing 11 and barely ever catching up and like, oh, she's here. Oh, she's here. Stakes feel really real this season. Like, they feel really real. Also, separately, I'll put this in a theory video too, so it's not just buried in the middle of the episode 2 reaction video. I could be way off base. I could be completely wrong. I feel like Kay might be Brenner's sister. I feel like she's a lot more important than it's letting on. I think the hairstyle that she has might be cluing us in a little bit more. I could be way off base, but I feel like Kay knows so much more than she's letting on. And I feel like she might be Dr. Brenner's sister. That will remain to be seen, though. I love this moment so much. So much. So, unpopular opinion here. Season 2 has been probably my favorite since pretty early in the series. Since about season 3. I loved season 3, but season 2 I have just always had a special place for in my heart. I think it's because of the slower character moments and especially because of the dynamic between Hop and 11 and just the immense amount of character growth that happens in 11 that season. This season, especially this moment, just from here on out, I adore this. I am so glad we have Hopper and 11 back together in so many scenes again. Like, their relationship is amazing. I love the little dig, the comments at each other about being a stubborn punk ass. It's beautiful, beautiful moments. Hopper, you could tell he loves her so much. He doesn't want to lose her. Every time he brings up the story about Sarah, every time we see that flashback, it tears me up. It makes me tear up. I get so emotional. And I'm so glad that he has 11. Nothing will ever replace Sarah, but you can tell that he loves this girl with his whole heart. He doesn't want to lose her. He can't afford to lose her because then he would just lose himself completely again. I love every moment we get with 11 and Hopper, and I'm so glad that this season has so many of those original pairings that made us fall in love with this series in the first place. So, just a quick little thing. I can't take credit for finding this one either, but I have to call it out because I think it's so cool, and I'm a huge fan of Halloween. I love that right there. The HMH in the background, that is also, in a way, a reference to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital from the Halloween series, and I geeked the heck out when I saw that logo. Ah, I love that. That's another callback, I think, to season 2. I don't trust doctors that call me sweetheart. She's directly talking about Owens that call her sweetheart in season 2 when they get captured and go to Hawkins' lab and all that. And they know something's up, and she just gives him that cold stare. And he's like, all right, take a walk with me. Let me show you something. Like, yeah, I don't trust doctors that call me sweetheart. I love this little moment. I love this. Is your receiver in any way connected to the flux capacitor? Robin said it was down. Just the look. when everyone turns around, they're like, "What the hell did you just say? The flux? What?" Like, I love the little moments of levity and just humor in this series too. Again, with the callbacks to Back to the Future, which, again, mind you, is a movie about time travel. So we've got A Wrinkle in Time. We've got Back to the Future referenced multiple times. They are laying the clues and the foundation for the insane whatever they're going to do with time travel, either in Volume 2 or in the finale. And I am here for it, and I am so excited to see exactly what it is that they do. All right, so the editing there and the way they wrote this scene, just brilliant. So first of all, I love that little conversation that Will and Robin have as they're going through the forest, where she finally confronts him about the hospital. Like, hey, we're friends, really good friends, but people might misunderstand our friendship. So if you did see something, it'd be better if you didn't say anything. That's when I think gears are really starting to turn in Will's head. Like, oh, okay, so maybe this is possible. Maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe this could work. Again, adore that his character arc is just taking off in this season. We finally get a season that is about Will, and where he's finally starting to have small wins, and where the story is featuring him a lot more heavily, and he doesn't just feel like an outcast. Going forward, too, when they see the mandala, the editing is so awesome. When he looks down at it and it starts spinning, it cuts to the shot where he's looking up when he has his vision, and then boom, it comes back to him. Holy crap, I heard laughter. I heard children laughing. So it was in that moment, that realization that he had, that like, okay, so why did I hear laughter? What am I seeing in this vision? I just thought it was brilliant editing. I love, again, the character bonding scenes that we're continuing to get in this season that's peppered in between the action. Really brings me back to season 1, season 2, where everything was just so character driven. I love this little moment. Ugh. So this reveal was so freaking cool. I wish we wouldn't have seen it in the trailers leading up to this season, because I feel like it would have hit a lot harder had we not seen that. But even that being said, like, this reveal is crazy. They just come up to this massive wall, and Hopper's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And it's so nasty. The effects on it are so well done. It is just a disgusting pustules and ooze and crap everywhere. It really fits that theme of the Upside Down. Um, we still don't know, as of Volume 1, what may be beyond this wall, what's not. I really like the mystery and intrigue that comes from this wall, and I'm really excited to see what happens going forward and what is behind this wall. Is it a barrier between here and Dimension X, where Vecna was first brought? Is it like the entrance to the hive mind? Like, what is this wall exactly? I really love the intrigue. I really love the way it looks, and I really cannot wait until we find out exactly what it is. Plus, by God, it looks just gnarly. So this scene, the first time I watched this episode, I was in tears. Like this, I'm so glad that Karen pulled through, but the gravity of this situation is just beyond heartbreaking. Beyond heartbreaking. When they tell her that Holly is missing and her heart rate skyrockets and she starts freaking out. I'm not a parent myself, but I could just imagine the terror that is in your mind when you're told that. You're like, what? What? So this scene is so well done. I really love that this season we've gotten so much more with the Wheelers. Mike and Nancy, yes, they've interacted a lot in the past, but it's just been kind of bits here and there. I adore that this season we're getting so much more from them, and they really feel like siblings again. They really feel like a tight knit family. this scene is so emotional. That's something I think Stranger Things does really, really well. Maybe I'm a little baby, but this series on so many accounts just makes me tear up, makes me freaking bawl, just depending on the scene. And I think this is one of those scenes that is so well done emotionally, and all of the actors put in just amazing performances. So this entire sequence is really awesome too, how it slowly unveils more details about Mr. Watson and what he looks like, who they think he is, intertwined with Will figuring out exactly what it is that he's seeing, and how he figures out that he is literally Vecna. He is seeing through Vecna's eyes. He is completely integrated with the hive mind. I thought all of this was awesome, how it just slow revealed and it just gets more and more intense. That also being said, when she's describing Mr. Watson, I find it really interesting, again, that he has a pocket watch. So, again, like from season 4 and now here, time is playing a huge, huge part in this. That pocket watch he glances down at a lot, he has on him at all times. So, it really shows the importance of time in this plot. Dun dun dun. So that reveal. I think most of us watching through, even from episode 1 when she waves at him, I think most of us figured who she's seeing, who Mr. Watson was. But just the way this was all set up to the slow reveal where Karen writes his name, Henry, and then you see him bringing her into this house and closing the door. Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. I think it's a great little cliffhanger for episode 2, and really, really just get you excited again for episode 3. I do have a little theory there at the end when he looks out the door and kind of gets that mean look on his face. We're not going to go through it in this video, but I am going to have like a theories and foreshadowing video to follow up all these reaction videos, kind of just talking about some of the imagery we see throughout the show, talk about some of the theories and stuff that I have, but we won't cover it here. In terms of this, I think it's an amazing ending. I love how the characters are all talking and connecting and figuring things out slowly. That's what I've always loved about Stranger Things, is how the mystery unfolds before you. And this is absolutely no exception. Alright, so Stranger Things 5, Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. All in all, amazing episode, yet again. Kind of spoiling a little bit going forward for the rest of this little series I'm doing on my channel, but so far none of the episodes in this season have missed for me. I think it's going to be just an amazing season altogether. They took their time writing, they took their time producing it, so I do think it's going to be an amazing season. That being said, we'll focus on this episode though. So, the opening is insane. One of my favorite openings of any Stranger Things episode ever. The freaking taking of Holly by the Demogorgon was insane. The effects were beautiful. The Demogorgon was just scary as shit. I loved that scene where they're underneath the water in the bathtub, and they're just fearful for their lives. I love that Ted defends them when Nancy shows up and all the color and life drains from her face and her eyes, realizing that everything had just happened, is a heartbreaking moment. And that intro was insane, leading up to 11 stepping into the portal and really, really kicking off the Upside Down story. I really enjoyed the pacing throughout the episode too. We get our great slow moments, but there's also just a constant pacing. There's an undercurrent of like, holy crap, shit is happening, and it's happening fast. We need to find Holly, we need to figure out what's going on, and we need to stop this, because the war has started. When Lucas is talking to Max in the hospital, he said, I feel like the final battle has started tonight. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's really not wrong. Things have officially started. Like, why else would another child be taken? Why else? Again, the character moments I absolutely adored, especially a lot of the stuff we get between Hopper and 11. It just warms my heart. so much. So damn much. I love their connection. I love their father-daughter bond. I love how much he loves her. And that harkens again right back to season 2, which I adore. The the connection they have in that season and him basically taking her in and raising her, that is just so apparent on screen in season 5 now with how much he cares about her and wants to protect her. I just love their character moments. Love anytime we have Robin and Will together. I think they're an amazing pairing, and I'm so glad we got that this season. I just love Robin as a character. She's kind of like my spirit animal, for lack of a better terms. Not an animal, but she is just awkward and like classic foot and mouth disease where she just like has to stop herself talking because she just says stuff she doesn't mean. I love it. I love Robin. Love the connection between Will and Robin. The scenes that we get between Jonathan and Steve and Dustin and Steve, there's so much emotional depth and so much behind those as well. I really appreciate those moments. Like I have addressed before and like griped a little bit about in the previous episode of this series. Yeah, it's a little heartbreaking and like maddening to see them hating each other like this. But I think it'll all come around. Again, they're all hurting. They're all in a place of extreme hurt. Dustin losing his friend. Steve feeling abandoned by everyone in his life. People are angry. People are stressed. Everyone's not going to be all happy-go-lucky, hunky-dory with one another. That's just not how life works. So I really appreciate that in this episode especially, you see a lot of that. Like, they're still 100% willing to work together and be a cohesive team. But that doesn't mean they have to like each other at every moment. Beyond that, just everything else. The rest of the pacing in this, the little bit we get with the military, where Kay finds out that 11 is in the Upside Down. Just the scenes in the Upside Down, where we get the slow reveal of the wall, where we get the reveal with Robin and Will about how he saw through Vecna's eyes, and ultimately the reveal with Henry at the end being the one that's taken her. Just a brilliant episode all around. I thought the pacing was super well done. I thought the episode was really entertaining and a very worthy second episode. Things are definitely going at a rapid pace. Despite my misgivings about the first episode and how everything was a little tamer, I love how fast everything is going now. This season is going to be insane. Just insane. And I really appreciate the amount of work that they have put into this season. It is going to be an absolute treat for fans of Stranger Things. That being said, though, everything together in the episode, I really do like it. I'm going to give this episode a very solid 8 out of 10. I think it deserves an 8 out of 10 for sure. The intro is amazing. Yeah, there's some slower character moments here and there. But again, I appreciate those slower moments. So I think an 8 out of 10 is a fair score. Not the best, most action-packed, most compelling Stranger Things episode I've ever seen. But there was enough there and enough substance there that I can't rate it any lower than an 8 out of 10. You get a lot of reveals. You do get exposition, but that's part of this show too. You need exposition to explain some stuff, especially for sometimes people like me that do take a while to come around and realize things. So some of that exposition does help. So yeah, an 8 out of 10. Absolutely. With that being said, that now ends episode 2 of this series where I react to and analyze the episodes in Stranger Things 5. Next up will be episode 3, The Turnbow Trap. Keep an eye out for that video. It should be dropping shortly after episode 2. I appreciate all of you for being here, hanging out with me, vibing with me, listening to me yap on and on about Stranger Things. If you can't tell, this is one of my favorite shows ever. I'm going to be so sad to see it go. But I'm glad that they're ending it on their terms. They're ending it on time, and they're not going to let it overstay its welcome. One more time, again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate your support so much. I love you all so very much. And until next episode, guys, peace.